Your Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, honorable ministers from our two respective countries, high commissioners, members of the media, and ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by extending once more a very warm welcome to you, my brother, President Buhari, and your delegation for this most historic state visit to South Africa. I should say that in our administration, which just started after our elections, your visit is most historic because it is the first state visit since our new administration started its work in May. So we honor you for coming to our country to be the very first head of state to visit us in South Africa. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
This visit has offered us a great opportunity to renew what I would call the strong bonds that exist between our two nations. President Buhari and I have just inaugurated the elevated session of the Binational Commission between South Africa and Nigeria. As we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the BNC between our two countries, this is the first session to be held at heads of state level. This session has provided us a platform to re-engage, to re-energize as well, and to further deepen our political, our trade, commercial, and investment relations, but also our people-to-people relations between South Africans and Nigerians. The progress that we made today is encouraging and in many ways lays a firm and strong basis for future relations between our two countries. In the course of our discussions and through various high-level engagements, we have had an opportunity to reflect on the number of issues, but more especially on the public violence that took place in South Africa a few weeks ago. As the government of South Africa, we have expressed our deep regret at the events of the past few weeks that manifested themselves through attacks that were directed at foreign nationals, and our condemnation of all forms of intolerance and acts of violence remains very, very firm. We are committed to addressing the genuine concerns of our people on issues such as poverty, unemployment, crime, drugs, and migration. We are equally committed to upholding the rule of law and ensuring that all those involved in criminal activities, regardless of their nationality, are prosecuted. And during the course of this period, a number of people were arrested and they will be prosecuted. We welcome the willingness of the government of Nigeria to work with us to address these challenges. During our talks, we reviewed a range of issues of bilateral and continental and global interest to both countries. We have noted with great satisfaction the growing bilateral cooperation as demonstrated by the existence of 32 bilateral agreements and memoranda of understanding. These agreements cover a wide range of fields, including trade and industry, science and technology, defense, agriculture, energy, transport, arts, and culture and tourism. We have directed our ministers and officials to ensure full implementation of all signed legal instruments for the mutual benefit of our respective countries and peoples. For the outstanding agreements, we have directed ministers to finalize negotiations in the shortest period of time. Our economic ties between our two nations continue to grow. Nigeria accounts for 64% of South Africa's total trade with the West African region of our continent, and is one of our largest trading partners on the continent itself. We noted with appreciation the increasing presence of South African companies in Nigeria and agreed on the need to promote greater investment by Nigerian companies in South Africa. But we also noted that there are quite a number of small and medium enterprises that are owned, run, and controlled by Nigerian nationals that operate in our market as well. As part of our efforts to increase economic cooperation, a Nigeria-South Africa Business Forum is meeting as we speak, and this is comprised of business delegations from both countries. We will urge our business people to take advantage of the great opportunities in our respective countries for trade and collaboration. Our governments have committed themselves to creating an enabling environment in both countries for doing business in our respective countries. We have identified key sectors for investment to boost economic growth and development. These sectors include roads, rail infrastructure, mining, manufacturing, and agro-processing. We also discussed regional, continental, and international peace and security challenges. We have noted with concern the continued instability and conflict in some parts of our continent. We have reaffirmed our commitment to work together in pursuit of peace and stability and development on the African continent. We have saluted the great strides being made by African Union member states to advance continental integration. The agreement on the Africa Free Trade Area is a practical example of this progress. Once it is fully implemented, this agreement will facilitate a huge increase in intra-African trade and investment. On the international front, we have affirmed our common view on the need to promote multilateralism, South-South cooperation, and the broad interests of the developing world. We have reiterated our call for the reform of the global system of governance, and in particular, the United Nations Security Council, to be more equitable, more representative of all regions of the world. We've committed ourselves to working together to enhance close political, economic, and social, as well as people-to-people relations between our two countries. Your Excellency, let me thank you and your delegation once again for visiting us. I hope that you have enjoyed so far your stay here, and you will continue to do so until we bid you farewell. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Ramaphosa. May I invite you, Your Excellency President Buhari, to deliver your remarks.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, honorable ministers, senior officials, members of the press. At the invitation of my brother, President Cyril Ramaphosa, I arrived South Africa yesterday for a state visit and the inaugural meeting of our bi-national commission at heads of state level. My delegation and I have been warmly received by the government and people of South Africa. During the course of the working session, we reviewed a wide range of bilateral, regional, continental, and global issues of common interest and concern to our two countries and peoples. We understand the long historical ties of friendship and solidarity between our two peoples, which have since been upgraded to a official and strategic partnership manifest in the large number of agreements between our two countries. We agreed on the need for us to strengthen even further our cooperation in areas such as peace building, good governance, and sustainable development in Africa in order to deliver the Africa we want. We noted with satisfaction that 32 signed agreements and memorandums of understanding between the Republic of South Africa and the Federal Republic of Nigeria cover such areas as trade, investment, energy, mining, defense, and security issues, police affairs, immigration, tourism, and environmental, among others. We stress the need to implement agreements in force, ratify signed agreements not in force, and renew expired agreements. Against this background, our two countries have also agreed to unequivocally address the challenges in our relations, including recent people-to-people challenges that saw attacks against foreign nationals, including Nigerians, and their properties, which we strongly condemned. We have decided to work and take concrete measures together to prevent the reoccurrence of such unacceptable incidents in the future. We have also committed to reinforcing our leadership role for peace, security, and development in Africa. I thank you very much.